It was my greatest physical challenge, multiplied exponentially as if endurance had no ceiling. That's about the difficulty of the climb to the summit of Mount Apo, the highest peak of the Philippines. The summit isn't just a destination, it's a reckoning, a quiet declaration that you endured. Climbing Mount Apo demands more than strength. It requires rhythm, physics, awareness, and above all, the discipline to listen to your body. Our climb begins in Capatagandigos, a quiet village cradled in Davao del Sur, around 1,586 meters above sea level. We stayed in a resort hotel the night before the start of the climb, excited and wary at the same time, but unaware of the mountain's full weight. Ahead lay an ascent of 1,368 vertical meters from where we were to the sky. To understand that climb, the One World Trade Center stands 1,368 feet tall. This hike? 1,368 meters, like ascending 3 One World Trade Centers stacked together, or scaling a 360-story tower if one ever existed. The first phase led us deep into the lush forest of the Mount Apo Natural Park, a 4 to 6 hour trek across damp earth, fallen trunks and moss-covered creeks, slopes so slick you had to cling to roots or reach for a guide's outstretched hand. Every grip had to be earned, every step tested. We left a little after 8 in the morning and reached our campsite sometime mid-afternoon. After setting up camp, we rested, knowing the next day's challenge would begin in the dead of night. We woke up past midnight and braced ourselves for the challenge just ahead. Then came the true test of endurance, the Endless Boulders. I carried my 83-kilogram frame over 2-foot rocks again and again, thousands of times. One misstep could mean injury. Every foothold had to be precise, and yet the boulders kept coming, stretching beyond sight. On the descent, its name would haunt me even more. Many climbers give up within the first kilometer of this section, my guide told me. It's where you start to think, should I go on or go back? Thankfully, all those months of cardio and leg training probably helped me. Give it a moment's rest, just a breath, and the heartbeat and breathing normalizes in no time, as if my training had left behind a secret weapon: recovery. Still, each step eventually became agonizing. I pressed on, drawing strength from a place I didn't even know existed. Just when exhaustion peaked, we reached white sand. It's a patch of flat, sandy area tucked between the summit and the boulders. They'd been saying white sand is just ahead for what felt like hours. When it finally appeared, it was like stumbling upon a hidden oasis. Here, I took my much-needed long break. I had coffee, brewed by the guide's Turkish style, but I had no appetite for the packed breakfast food. The cold, high-altitude air seemed to have made the rice and longaniza stiff and bland. It wasn't about hunger, it was about energy and will. The summit, so long imagined, was finally within reach. We gathered our packs and pressed on. It's so close now, but it still felt daunting. An 11 o'clock angle that didn't care how far we'd come, but it was time to move on. We reached the crater lake. For a few moments, I just sat by the lake to catch my breath after the steep climb. Most others veered left toward Digos Peak, but my guide and I took the lesser-worn path. We went right towards what is considered the true summit, the Mother Peak. There was a near vertical short climb. There's a rope fixed to some anchor. I tried not to look down. I was confident, though, of the support of my guide. Once you get to the top, it's a cruise to the peak. Then I was there. Every tired muscle, every ache suddenly had meaning. Can you believe it? We made it. We were standing on Mount Apo's Mother Peak. She was beautiful, silent, majestic. The boulders, the measure of the summit's elevation, marked our triumph, rugged, immense, and sacred. They said we were lucky, gifted with a clear 360-degree view, untouched by the thick mountain clouds that so often crown this summit. But even in triumph, I felt small, because this is no ordinary peak. To the Bagobo, Manobo, and Obo tribes, this mountain is Apo Sandawa. To climb here is to walk upon sacred ground. To honor the silence, the spirit, and the mountain that let me pass. With renewed energy, we even crossed over to Digos Peak. It has a large clearing and about the same elevation as Mother Peak. Climbing down is not easier, only different. After having scaled 2 peaks, I paused again at the lake, not just to breathe, but to plan. I have to solve the problem of going down a steep incline. Going down tests your knees, your balance, the acute slope giving you that feeling of standing before an abyss. I remember on our way up we met somebody who advised us going down is harder. I wouldn't argue. I took another break at White Sand, maybe even slept, because the real descent hadn't started yet. As expected, the boulder descent was another long, arduous journey. With the combination of the midday sun, the onset of dehydration, and the smell of sulfurous gases from the volcanic vents getting in the mix. I have been hiking up and down the highest peak of the country since 2 a.m. It's almost midday. I gazed down what seems to be kilometers of boulders, still separating us, and the midway campsite inside the forest. Goody Goody campsite is at elevation 2,250, so imagine going up and down 180 stories of elevation in one run on rugged terrain, not counting traverse meandering distance. Our water bladders were getting empty, my lips dry, my body aching. A couple of guides came back for us just in time as we were about to finish the boulders and cross the creek into the forest with fresh bottles of water and saved us from dehydration. I survived the boulders. Back at the campsite, we went to our tents early. Before I went to get badly needed sleep, I recall events of the day. The first taste of the boulders in the dead of night. The moment I almost called it enough. Let's just see the famous Mount Apo sunrise. That moment, I lay on a boulder trying to catch my breath beneath a sky full of stars. In that stillness, I truly grasped the scale of what we had done. The moment invited reflection on persistence, fear, and the quiet faith that kept me moving forward. I looked down at the twinkling lights of the villages far below, so far now they felt like another world. And yet there in the cold early morning was the most beautiful, sweet sunrise I've ever seen. When the idea of giving up crosses your mind, you witness the grandeur of God's creation. It was all worth it. The climb, the struggle, the moment of triumph at the top. I've never climbed a mountain before this, But if I had to climb a mountain, suppose it had to be the highest, did it? After breakfast at Goody Goody, we began the final walk down from the camp. It was faster, but not easier. My body had absorbed punishment in 2 days of battle. Every step felt like dragging my soul behind me. They said, "It's near." I knew that meant another 2 hours. Then we saw the farmlands. Green lettuce stretched across the hills. A sign we were close, but rain had come. The trail was mud, sticky. Relentless, our shoes sank, every step a fight. Finally, the road turned to concrete. The base was just ahead. Without my prodding, my guide ran forward and returned with a motorbike. "You want a ride, sir?" I smiled. "Thank you, but no, I've come this far. I'll finish this on foot." And so I summoned my last packets of energy, dragged my aching legs on the final couple hundred meters. I remember making a sprint on the last 20 and see everyone's happy faces on a successful climb. My guide handed me a cold bottle of Coca-Cola. When sugar levels were low, he heard me craving for it way back in the woods. Victory at last. Nothing could be sweeter.